Thank you, Representative. And I understand what your reluctance is to answer the questions posed by Representative Meyer in light of the recent Supreme Court case that came down LS Power, Mid-Continent, et cetera, back on March 24th of this year. Because in that case, I think Representative Holt, they actually asked the bill sponsor some questions on the floor that he couldn't answer, and the Supreme Court took note of that in their opinion. Having said that, I want to ask you just a couple questions specifically about your amendment that you sponsored. Looking at page 4 of your amendment, at line 1, it starts, dangerous weapon is not visible from outside of the vehicle. Do you see what I'm referring to?
Yes.
Being the amendment sponsor, what is your definition of not visible?
Again, Representative Olson, I will go back, and my concern related to that Supreme Court decision is not just the fact that the justices referenced bill manager remarks, but rather their conclusion that therefore representatives or legislators perhaps didn't know what they were voting on. It's, I think, a very concerning decision for a lot of reasons. I think not visible, there's an obvious definition there. Not visible is not visible.
Well, let me give you a couple examples. If an 18-year-old at a community college in a parking lot in a locked vehicle, could he keep his AR-15 in that vehicle if he had it in a pillowcase?
Not visible is not visible, but this doesn't pertain to AR-15s. It pertains to pistols and revolvers.
No, it pertains to dangerous weapons. I want you to, again, look at page 4, the first line. I'm not going to ask you to define what a dangerous weapon is, but I can assure you it includes rifles. An 18-year-old can legally have a rifle if he's not otherwise barred because he's a convicted felon, for example. A dangerous weapon does include a rifle. A rifle does include an AR-15. So what this bill does, I think, Representative Holt, you correct me if I'm wrong, is it authorizes 18-year-olds to carry AR-15s in their locked vehicle with that AR-15 in a pillowcase to a community college or the University of Iowa or UNI or any of the other state regent universities. Do you disagree with that?
Again, Representative Olson, as I explained earlier, I believe the bill is very clear in what it states, and I believe not visible means not visible, and dangerous weapon is defined in Iowa code.
And would you disagree with me if I tell you that a dangerous weapon is a rifle? It's an AR-15 rifle, in fact. Would you disagree with that?
As I explained before, everyone can look up the definition of dangerous weapon in Iowa code, and I could certainly read the definition of dangerous weapon from Iowa code because I do have it here.
Well, why don't you take a look? You don't have to read it out loud. Just read it yourself and see if I'm incorrect. And that is that a dangerous weapon does not include a rifle.
Again, as I have done many times on the floor when I've been asked similar questions, Representative Olson, if you would like to read the definition of dangerous weapon in 702.7, feel free to do so. But it is in code.
So your answer is yes, Representative Olson, a rifle, an AR-15 rifle in particular, is a dangerous weapon pursuant to Iowa code.
I have already answered your question.
Which is what?
I've already answered your question as to what the bill says, and you can go to the definition of 702.7, or excuse me, dangerous weapon in 702.7, and you can draw your own conclusion and make that statement on the floor.
Being the amendment sponsor in reading 702.7, does it exclude a rifle? Does it exclude an AR-15 rifle? Does it exclude a shotgun?
Again, Representative Olson, I have answered. You can read the bill, you can read the definition and draw your conclusion as to what the bill is defining and what 702.7 defines.
Again, looking at page 4, line 1, it says dangerous weapon, singular. Does that mean that an 18-year-old at a state university or at a community college can have multiple dangerous weapons locked in his or her vehicle as long as they are not visible?
Again, Representative Olson, you can read what the legislation says beginning on page 3 with limitation on authority, dangerous weapons, and go through to the section you're talking about and draw your conclusion. I think it's pretty clear.
So when the Supreme Court reviews this at some point in time, it wouldn't surprise you if they would conclude that the sponsor doesn't know what line 1 on page 4 of his amendment means.
No, I would not draw that conclusion, Representative Olson. I am stating that you can read the bill and make that conclusion. I don't think you can glean from my answers to your question that the Supreme Court justices would determine that I don't know what this bill says. Those are your words.
That's fair enough, because I surely don't know what the Supreme Court's going to conclude on any case. Representative Holt, thank you very much.
Thank you.